Capricorn, listen closely. October 4th, 2025 is not just another Saturday circled on a calendar. It is the moon's test, a spiritual exam written into your destiny long before you were even born. On this day, the moon is not just glowing in the sky, it is watching. It is measuring your choices, your reactions, your ability to stand tall under pressure. And for Capricorn, the stakes are higher than they have ever been. If you pass this test, the reward is beyond anything you can imagine. We're talking about the kind of breakthrough that changes your life's direction forever. Love finds you in the most unexpected way. Wealth opens its doors in a moment that feels like pure magic. Recognition, the validation you've been waiting years for, finally arrives. It's as if the universe says, "Yes, Capricorn, you are ready." But if you fail this test, the consequences are severe. The moon strips away what you thought was unshakable. Plans collapse right in front of your eyes. Trust is broken. People reveal their hidden faces. And suddenly, everything you thought you could rely on crumbles. Not because the universe hates you, but because the universe is asking, will you rise or will you repeat? This is not simple astrology entertainment. This is not about daily horoscopes or casual predictions. This is a warning wrapped in opportunity. A cosmic exam where one choice, one reaction, one moment of courage or one moment of weakness decides whether you ascend or stumble. And that's why you need to hear every single word of this message. Because in the next few minutes, I will reveal the 3 exact moon tests coming for Capricorn on October 4th, the hidden signs that prove you are being tested, and the miracle reward that unlocks once you pass. Capricorn, October 4th is Judgment Day. The moon is calling your name. The universe is sharpening your soul. And I promise you this, once you understand what's about to unfold, you will never look at this date the same way again. The question is, will you be ready? Now Capricorn, let's talk about why October 4th matters so much. On this day, the moon sits in a position that doesn't just influence your emotions, it triggers karmic exams. These are not random events. They are divine checkpoints, moments where the universe presses pause and says, "Show me what you've learned." And here's the truth. Old cycles are resurfacing. The mistakes you thought you buried, the fears you thought you had conquered, and the unfinished business you thought would never come back. All of it reappears under the light of this moon, not to punish you, but to test whether you've actually grown, or whether you're still trapped in the same loop. For some Capricorns, it may appear as a communication breakdown. You send a message with love, and it's misunderstood. A conversation you thought would be simple spirals into conflict. This is not an accident. It's the moon testing whether you can keep your clarity and calm, or whether you fall back into old defensive patterns. For others, it will show up as financial delays. The money you were waiting on stalls. Payments don't come through. Promises are postponed. The moon isn't being cruel. It's asking, will you panic and abandon your path, or will you trust that divine timing is greater than your own? And for many Capricorns, October 4th will carry the sting of betrayal tests. Someone may reveal their true colours. A mask slips. A friend, a partner, a co-worker. Someone shows you who they really are. And in that moment, the universe is watching to see, will you cling to what's toxic out of fear, or will you finally choose yourself? This is what makes October 4th so dangerous and yet so miraculous. It's a cosmic fork in the road. One path keeps you chained to the past. The other path launches you into a new timeline of freedom and abundance. But here's the twist. The test isn't obvious. It doesn't arrive with a flashing neon sign that says, "Warning, karmic exam ahead." No, Capricorn, it comes disguised. It looks like something you want, a shiny opportunity, a sweet message, a tempting offer. But if you take the bait without looking deeper, you fail. And that's why you must pay attention, because the moon is watching your every move. Capricorn, the very first moon test you will face on October 4th is called the Door of Temptation. It begins quietly, almost seductively. A false opportunity appears, so shiny, so convincing, so perfectly timed that it almost feels like a miracle. It could be a new job that promises fast money, a relationship that suddenly sparks from nowhere, or a business deal that seems too smooth, too perfect, too risk-free. And in that moment, your heart will race. Your mind will say, "Finally, this is what I've been waiting for." But here's the danger. This is not your blessing. It's a baited trap. The moon wants to know, will you jump at the shortcut, or will you wait for what is truly yours? See, Capricorn, you more than any other sign are known for hard work, discipline, and the ability to climb mountains step by step. But deep inside, even you sometimes get tired. You crave the shortcut. You want the fast track. And October 4th is when the universe checks. Will you sell your soul for quick comfort, or will you hold steady for divine timing? This temptation can be subtle. A person reappears, offering you affection, but you sense their loyalty isn't real. A company waves money in your face, but the fine print steals your freedom. A friend offers you a deal, but deep down, you feel the energy doesn't sit right. Your challenge is to pause and look deeper. Do not chase what glitters, because not everything golden is meant for you. The moon is watching. Will you trust your intuition, or will you leap into something you know, deep inside, isn't aligned? And here's the part that most Capricorns won't realize in the moment. Sometimes the temptation doesn't succeed because you resist it. Sometimes it fails because it collapses on its own. That job ghosting you, that person backing out, that deal suddenly falling apart, it's not rejection. But here's the twist. What looks like rejection on October 4th is actually divine protection. The universe isn't closing a door to punish you. It's slamming it shut so you don't walk into a trap. Capricorn, your first moon test is clear. When temptation knocks, don't answer, because what's truly yours cannot and will not pass you by. Capricorn, the second moon test on October 4th is one of the hardest because it cuts deep into the heart. I call it the mirror of truth. This test arrives when someone from your past reappears. It might be an ex-lover who once broke you down, a toxic friend who drained your energy, or even a long-standing family wound that resurfaces when you least expect it. At first, it may seem harmless. Maybe they come back with soft words, apologies, or promises of change. Maybe they arrive in your life as if no time has passed, and part of you, deep inside, wants to believe them. But here is the true exam. Did you heal, or are you about to repeat? The moon will hold up a mirror and force you to look at yourself. Did you learn the lessons from the last heartbreak? Did you recognize the red flags in that friendship? Did you finally release the guilt and anger tied to old family battles? Or will you get pulled right back into the same cycle, convincing yourself that this time it will be different? Capricorn, your challenge here is not to prove loyalty to the other person. Your challenge is to prove loyalty to yourself, to stand firm in self-respect, to honor your growth, and to trust that your peace is worth more than temporary comfort. And here's what makes this test so tricky. It won't always come dressed as drama. Sometimes it arrives disguised as kindness, sweetness, or nostalgia. The person may seem calmer. The situation may feel gentler. The memories might soften in your heart. But don't forget, the moon tests you through what you crave the most. And this is where most Capricorns stumble. Because when loneliness whispers, or when old wounds ache, it's tempting to go back to what is familiar, even if it's toxic. But here's the twist. The one who comes back is not here for love, but to test if you'll trade your peace for nostalgia. Pass this test by standing strong. Respect yourself enough to say no to what hurt you before. The moon wants to see if you are truly free or if you're still chained to yesterday. Capricorn, the third and final moon test on October 4th is the one that will shake you to your core. It is called the shadow of fear. This test arrives suddenly with no warning. Maybe it's an unexpected delay. Money you were counting on doesn't show up. A project stalls. A door you thought was opening slams shut in your face. Or maybe it comes as financial stress. Bills stack higher than expected, expenses pop up out of nowhere, and suddenly it feels like everything you've been building is slipping through your fingers. In that moment, panic rises. Fear whispers, "It's all falling apart. You're losing control. Nothing is working." And that's exactly the exam, because the moon is not testing your bank account. It's testing your faith. Capricorn, you've built your entire identity around structure, stability, and control. You are the mountain climber, the one who always has a plan. But October 4th is when the universe says, "What happens when I shake the ground beneath your feet? Will you crumble, or will you trust that I am carrying you higher?" This is the shadow test. The fear will feel real. The losses may feel final. But they are not. They are illusions designed to see if you will abandon your faith for the comfort of fear. Will you break down, or will you breathe through it and trust that the universe knows exactly what it's doing? And here's the powerful truth. The scarier the situation looks, the closer you actually are to your breakthrough. That delay you're cursing may be the exact protection you need. That financial hiccup may redirect you to the opportunity that truly changes your future. But here's the twist. The fear that shakes you on October 4th is actually the exact portal that opens your miracle. The very moment you want to give up is the moment the universe is about to open the door you've been waiting for. That's why you must not panic. Stand still in the storm. Trust the process, because the shadow of fear is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to reveal the unshakable strength that already lives inside you. Capricorn, let's get real for a moment. How do you even know if the moon is testing you on October 4th? The truth is, the signs are there, but they are subtle. They hide in the cracks of your daily life, waiting for you to notice. And once you see them, you cannot unsee them. The first sign is restlessness. The night before, you can't sleep. Your body feels tense. Your thoughts race. It's not just stress, it's your spirit sensing that something bigger is about to happen. The energy of the moon stirs inside you, and you feel it like static in the air. The second sign is strange synchronicities. Numbers repeating everywhere, especially 444. You check the clock, and there it is. You glance at a receipt, and the same digits pop out. These are not coincidences. They are cosmic breadcrumbs, reminders that the universe is speaking directly to you. The moon is whispering, "Pay attention. A test is unfolding." The third sign is old wounds resurfacing in dreams. You may dream of an ex, a betrayal, a failure from years ago. These aren't random. They're echoes of lessons unfinished. The moon pulls them back into your awareness because you're being given a chance to respond differently this time. And finally, the fourth sign is emotional pressure peaking. You feel heavier than usual. Little things irritate you. Your patience runs thin. Maybe you even cry without knowing why. This is not weakness, it is spiritual labor. It's the pressure of transformation building inside you, pushing you toward breakthrough. And here's what makes all of this so powerful. The stronger the signs feel, the closer you are to your miracle. The weight isn't here to break you. It's here to show you how close you are to a life-changing shift. But here's the twist. The heavier the pressure feels, the bigger the miracle waiting once you don't give up. Capricorn, remember this. Pressure makes diamonds. The sleepless night, the repeating numbers, the haunting dreams, the emotional storm, all of it is proof that you are in the middle of a moon test. And if you can hold steady, if you can refuse to give up when it feels unbearable, the universe will reward you with something far greater than you imagined. Capricorn, now let's talk about why all of this matters. Because when you pass the moon's test on October 4th, you don't just avoid failure. You unlock a divine reward that will ripple through every corner of your life. The first reward is recognition. A door that's been sealed shut suddenly opens. People notice you. Your hard work, the kind you've been pouring out for years without applause, finally gets acknowledged. The universe will place you in a position where your value cannot be ignored. A boss sees your worth. A community praises your gifts. The stage you've been waiting for suddenly lights up, and you're standing right in the center. The second reward is financial blessing. That long-delayed opportunity finally clears. Maybe it's money owed to you that suddenly gets paid. Maybe it's a career advancement, a business breakthrough, or even unexpected income that feels like divine timing. You'll realize that the financial stress of the test wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The universe wanted to see if you could trust before it delivered abundance. The third reward is love. Not the fake love, not the toxic cycles, not the ghosts from your past. When you pass the moon's exam, you make space for the real thing. Someone genuine enters your life. Someone who doesn't drain you, but uplifts you. This could be a romantic partner, or it could be the strengthening of an existing bond. Either way, the love that enters is clean, aligned, and undeniable. And the fourth reward is soul freedom. You feel lighter, sharper, more magnetic. The invisible weight you've been carrying finally drops. Your energy changes, and with it, everything around you shifts. Opportunities flow easier. Conversations feel more aligned. People are drawn to you, not because you're chasing them, but because your spirit is glowing. But here's the twist. The miracle won't come from where you expect. It doesn't arrive through the front door. It sneaks in sideways, through the back door of destiny. The blessing may show up disguised as something small, ordinary, or even inconvenient. But when you look closer, you'll realize it's the breakthrough you've been waiting for all along. Capricorn, when you pass this moon test, you don't just win, you transform. The reward is not random. It is tailored to your soul, delivered at the exact moment you prove you're ready. Capricorn, now we arrive at the most serious part of this journey, the final warning. October 4th is not a date you can coast through. It is karmic. That means there is no middle ground, no safe grey area, no place to hide. You either pass the moon's test, or you fail it, and the results will echo through your life. If you ignore the signs, here's what happens. The first loss is money. Finances you thought were stable suddenly slip through your fingers. Opportunities vanish. Promises evaporate. What you thought was secure reveals itself to be fragile. The second loss is energy. You wake up drained, you feel heavy. Even simple tasks feel exhausting. Why? Because when you ignore divine tests, your spirit knows it, and the weight of misalignment pulls you down. And the third loss is relationships. Connections you thought would last forever begin to crumble. Misunderstandings explode into conflict. Bonds you held tightly suddenly snap. The moon doesn't allow toxic attachments to survive in the new cycle, and if you refuse to let go, the collapse will feel brutal. Capricorn, I won't sugarcoat it. October 4th is karmic judgment. You cannot bargain with it. You cannot charm your way through it. You cannot skip it. This is a pass or fail exam, and the universe will not hesitate to strip away anything that is holding back your evolution. But here's the twist. Even failure is not permanent. The universe is not cruel, it is patient. If you stumble, if you fall into temptation, if you trade your peace for nostalgia, or if you let fear consume you, another test will come. You will always get another chance. But here's the catch. The reward won't be as big. The miracle won't be as powerful. The door won't open as wide. That is why October 4th is so critical. Because this is your golden ticket. This is the moment where the universe says, "Prove yourself now, and I will bless you beyond measure." Capricorn, this is not a day to take lightly. It's a karmic deadline. Ignore it, and you lose. Face it with courage, and you win everything. So Capricorn, we've reached the end of this journey, but in truth, it's not the end at all. October 4th, 2025 is not just another date on the calendar. It is the moon's test. 3 challenges are standing before you, waiting in the shadows of that day. The door of temptation, the shiny shortcut that looks safe but secretly drains your soul. The mirror of truth, the face from the past that returns, not to love you, but to test your growth. The shadow of fear, the delay, the stress, the moment that makes you wonder if everything is slipping away. These are not random events. These are the checkpoints of destiny. The moon is not trying to punish you. It's trying to prepare you. Because on the other side of these tests is your miracle. If you pass, the rewards will be undeniable. A financial door you thought was permanently closed will swing open. A real, healthy love, not toxic, not temporary, will arrive. And most of all, your spirit will feel lighter, sharper, magnetic, unstoppable. But if you fail, if you give in to temptation, if you let nostalgia trick you, if you let fear consume you, your destiny doesn't disappear, but it does get delayed. And every delay comes with a cost. Capricorn, this is why October 4th is different. It's why this message found you. It's why your spirit felt that pull to listen all the way here to the end. Because deep down, you know, you're already standing at the doorway of this test. Now I want to ask you something, and I don't want you to ignore this. Which of these 3 tests do you feel already knocking on your life? Is it temptation, trying to lure you with false promises? Is it the mirror of truth, with someone resurfacing from the past? Or is it the shadow of fear, the delays and pressures shaking your faith? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And you will be shocked how many other Capricorns are walking through the same door as you. You are not alone. And if this message gave you chills, if you felt that inner shiver that said, "This is for me," then don't keep it to yourself. Someone else needs to hear this too. Share it with another Capricorn. Share it with your circle. You could be the reason they pass their test instead of failing it. And don't forget, this is just the beginning. October is not the end of your story. It's the opening chapter of a much bigger one. The universe has more secrets, more messages, more tests, and more miracles waiting for you. So hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure you don't miss what's coming next. Because Capricorn, October 4th is the test. But the months ahead, that's where your destiny explodes wide open